This is a story of how a get-together at my house over 20 years ago
became the largest weekly open mic in the world.
Just sharing stories with friends and friends of friends.
And friends of friends.
And inviting friends of friends.
And friends of friends. And then?
Tell me where the hell all these people came from. I remember when there were maybe 10 people, maybe more, sitting down on the ground on my living room floor. And now if you knew me back then you know that when Monday came around, I was calling you again. A weekly invitation to the hottest spot in town. Every Tuesday night, it's the Poetry Lounge.
Welcome to the Poetry Lounge. Give it up for yourselves for coming out today. Give it up for yourselves. My name is Shihan, and I'll be your host. First, I want to get some rules out the way. There's no speaking while poets are up on stage. It takes a lot under you to go on the stage and tell your story, so please respect the poets and the house rules. Also, rule number 2, cell phones off. I see you right there. Cell phones off. Make sure your phones are off on vibrate. There's some people, if you see up on the rafters, those people are watching to make sure you aren't on your phone, and if you are, you may be taken outside, and we will not be responsible for what happens. So, now that the rules are out of the way, I want to bring up your first poet. Are you ready for the first poet? Yes. No, are you ready for the first poet? Yes. Coming up to the stage, put your hands together one more time for one of the founders of the Poetry Lounge. Give it up for Dante Basco.
Thoughts from around my mind. Thoughts from around my mind. Now ask yourself, who's this kid that stands before me? Hope he doesn't bore me quick. Stick him in another category. Well, he really doesn't fit in any. Brown like a copper penny, yet with Asiatic eyes. I see to my surprise, he's got a black nose. But on the real, I'm a Filipino. And to break it down further still, I will tell you I descend from an island where the natives run around nearly naked named Negritos. Translation, little black men. Black as their shadows in the glorious sun. But then came a Chinaman, maybe it was Japan, who mixed in the Asiatic blood. Drip, drop, drip, rips my tribal. Here comes the Bible of a man from Spain who left me with a Spanish name from a little conquered island from where I came. Confused, I questioned, yet I wound up here where I found joy. Recognize I am a brown boy in America. A place where you are judged by the color of your skin. Black, white, and here I am, standing on the land of another brown man. Now that's irony that I can see. Thoughts roam around my mind, you got to give me time on this. Thoughts roam around my mind, but my grandpa says just throw your line and fish. And when I say I'm fishing, it means I'm searching for a deeper meaning, a stronger feeling, realizing everything I'm seeing isn't what it's seeming. This world in which we live in, the religion I was raised on now raises questions. Question everything they tell you, not by everything they try to sell you. Promises of heaven once this life of living hell's through. And me, I'm here to tell you that the religion they want me to believe in got me subconsciously accepting before I was saved by that Jesus Christ, I was a heathen. Me and the Africans and Indians and Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and Koreans and all the other Asians and I can never do that. Because somewhere in the back of my mind I have to hate myself forever because I know I'll never look like their God. But God, I ain't mad at you because God, I know the truth. I am you. Like you are me, like I am you, like they're us, like, this is who we are. I mean, some speak of the revolution, they say it won't be televised, and they're right because the revolution's going on. It's the revolution of the mind, and this revolution is not a black or white thing or in between the rich and poor. It's those who are awake and those who are asleep, and this is a wake-up call, so wake up, y'all, before we fall. Wake up, Uncle Sam. You are a relative of mine, but your wife is a hoe. You beat her and cheated on. I fear you may murder her, and furthermore, you and I live in a time of no good guys ask if what I consider your friends look at people of color as, I'm like, shh. F the police. Furthermore, F this country. Do you know how it feels to live young and hungry and angry? People looking at me like they want to hang me. Why do you make me want to elevate above you? You make me hate you when I should love you. Because when you break it down to the reality, I see what's same, and that's the God of me. The God of me. The God of me. Part of me. The God in us. In God we trust. Ashes to ashes. Dust to dust.
And that's how it all started.
It was just a get together at my house. I was just an actor, and Shihan was just a rapper sleeping on my couch.
And we created the Poetry Lounge with purpose. And once passion was added to the purpose, the seeds were planted and the possibilities became endless. And the idea of inviting friends over to share stories became a study in the interconnectivity of lives and our innate desire to be part of something bigger. And it went further than that.
We became, this whole thing, it was like we became a virus. We went viral.
Right.
I mean, we went viral actually before the internet.
And we're not even that old.
Seriously.
Another story, but yeah.
So we became a part of this LA subconsciousness. I mean, the seed of angels, void of spirituality, but this idea, it just grew enormously. And people were talking about this amazing poetry venue. They're talking about our house. Mm-hmm. They're talking about my living room. And from there,
to the Cabaret Cafe,
to the Greenway,
and to Broadway.
These words became a worldwide web of ideas that we got tangled in.
And the stories range from love.
Like the first girl that you gave your heart to, but she broke it, leaving you in pain.
Trying to put together a heart, shattered into a million pieces, leaving us in a search for a new muse to run to, a sort of race.
And identify, how do you do? Black, white, any other type, but does it really matter when it comes to having sex?
Sex doesn't always fill that hole in my chest, and that feeling of emptiness is one of my biggest fears.
A failure or rejection, just another mechanism to cope. The only way to survive is to hold on to the hope
that someone listening right now has shared these same experiences, and that in itself can sometimes be enough to get us through the tougher times. See, the ability to inspire, then the recognition that inspiration comes in the smallest of forms ignites the spark. See, I think, therefore I feel, therefore I share, therefore I process, therefore I create. And to create is to do more than experience, and to do more than exist. We exist to be different.
In context, in form, and fashion, we know that we have the ideas to impact a world of billions, that the smallest of ideas gave birth to the largest movements. I mean, they're small compared to
the universe.
The size of the universe, yes, but it's like the insignificance of the idea becomes the actual significance of the ideal. I mean, a smile, perfection is as simple as a smile.
And a smile is a facelift in anyone's budget. It's Tom Wilson. See, over the past few years, I've been doing a study. Not a scientific study, but a life study. One in which I paid attention to people I saw smiling a lot, and I came to the conclusion that smiling leads to more smiling. Because when you look happy, you feel happy. Once you feel happy, other people begin to feel happy, and so on until everyone is happy. So there you go, scientific proof that smiling is good for you. And now you're sitting there, cheek muscle settled in atrophy, searching for a moment worth smiling for, and that's where you went wrong. See, you waited for a reason to smile instead of remembering there's always something worth smiling about. So what I want you to do now is smile. Now look around. You see a lot of fake, forced smiles, right? Now think about how silly it is to fake a smile. Now feel the tongue out the corners of your mouth, close your eyes, tilt your head back, and smile. Smile because you and I have a set of pearly off-whites that are dying for a breather. Smile because the last time you did, you felt amazing for the rest of the day. Smile because it's uncomfortable. And everybody feels uncomfortable at some point in their life, so let's be uncomfortable together. Because no one likes to be uncomfortable alone. Or smile like it's the holidays. And you're taking one of those awkward family photos where you wait around waiting for the picture to be taken, only to realize the camera was on record the entire time and you were just posing for a picture that wasn't even really a picture. Smile because it's the best you can look without worrying about how you look. Smile because your pulse is real and your heart deserves an applause for all the work it's done. Smile because he's not smiling and should be. Smile because she's not smiling and needs to. Shoot. Smile because we all want to. Shoot. Smile because we have friends and family who love us, or because we love ourselves, or because we have love, and love is always worth smiling about. And smile because smiling leads to bond forming, and life is just a bunch of souls looking for other souls to bond with. Plus, smiling adds 3 to your number on the cute chart, as proven in my last study that 23.7% of all babies are not cute. However, when an ugly baby smiles, bang, cute baby. Conclusion, smiling makes you cuter, and who can use the extra 3 points anyway? Shoot, smile because you need to, and smile because you've cried enough, and smile because I've given you at least 25 reasons to smile, and if that's not good enough, then maybe you're not ready to smile. See, if there are certain people who will fight a smile into the death of another smile, and those people, they just need a hug. Which is a completely different study for a completely different poem, which I may revisit at another point in time, but for now, it's all about smiling. So smile like it's the only thing you're good at. See, the moral of the story is this. There are only so many days we have left on this earth, and each day we get closer to death. And I know that's a pretty pessimistic way to look at things, but there's optimism in the smile. So why not spend as many moments as we can smiling?
We are here. We're alive, present today.
And our shared experience would be the bedtime stories of the future, told on an open mic to a complete room of strangers.
And we didn't even know people would show up. You know what I'm saying? But when we arrived, to our surprise, there's like a line out the door, down the block, around the corner.
Waiting to get into the spot we created over 20 years ago. A safe space to inspire, to engage, and enlighten.
With no judgment, and every Tuesday night, still, on Fairfax, South of Melrose, the Greenway Court Theater. Over 300 people pack into this theater.
And that's like over 15,000 people a year.
Like 20 years later.
Over 300,000 souls served. And just to think, it started with a thought.
And what was that?
I got something to say.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.